The river begins as a whisper in the mountain, a seep of water from stone, a gathering of mist. It does not announce itself as a river. At first, it is nameless, a trickle between rocks, a dampness in the moss. But it is already moving, already becoming. No one decides when the stream becomes a river. There is no ceremony, no moment of transformation. It simply continues, and one day, it is what it is. You too began as something small, a thought, a possibility, a stirring. And without declaration, you became yourself. The river does not look back at its source and grieve. It does not wish to return to the mountain spring. It knows only forward, only onward. This is not forgetting. The river carries the mountain with it. Every mineral, every memory of stone and sky. But it does not try to become the mountain again. It has left that form behind. To flow is to release what was for what is becoming. There are those who spend their lives looking backward. They stand at the riverbank, staring upstream. The water passes them, but they do not notice. They are waiting for the past to return. They are hoping the river will reverse its course, but the river has never moved backward, not once in all of time. To live as the river lives is to release your grip on what has gone, not because it was not precious, but because holding it stops your flowing. The river meets a boulder in its path. It does not stop. It does not declare the boulder an enemy. It simply divides, flows around, continues. On the other side, it joins itself again. The boulder remains, the river has passed. You will meet boulders in your life. Obstacles that seem immovable. Problems that seem permanent. You can spend your strength trying to move them. Or you can be like the river. Find the way around. Find the way through. Keep moving. Keep flowing. The boulder believes it has won. It stands firm, unmoved by the water. But 10,000 years pass. The boulder becomes smaller. The river is unchanged. Persistence is not the same as force. The river does not hurry. It moves at the speed the land allows. In the steep places, it quickens. In the flat places, it slows. It does not judge itself for being fast or slow. It does not compare itself to other rivers. It simply responds to where it is. You measure yourself against others. You say, I am behind. I am not moving fast enough. But you are on your own path, in your own landscape. Poor, court, Casino, death, Omi, death, love. I am not being behind. The mountain river rushes. The plains river meanders. Neither is better, neither is worse. Each moves as the earth beneath it allows. Your speed is not a sign of your worth. Your pace is not a measure of your value. You are flowing at exactly the speed of your own life. There are seasons when the river swells, spring melt, heavy rain, abundance of water. The banks widen, the current strengthens. There are seasons when the river shrinks. This is a season when the river shrinks. Drought, summer heat, scarcity of water. Stones appear that were hidden. The flow becomes a trickle. Both are the river. Both are necessary. Neither is a failure. In your full times, you feel powerful and alive. In your lean times, you feel diminished and afraid. But the river does not apologize for its seasons. When the water is low, it does not pretend to be high. It simply flows with what it has. And it knows the rain will come again. Trust the seasons of your own life. When you are full, flow generously. When you are low, flow with what remains. The river carries everything that falls into it. Leaves, branches, stones, silt. It does not refuse the burden. Some things it carries for a while, then releases at the bend. Some things it carries all the way to the sea. It does not decide, it simply carries. You, too, will carry things. Grief, joy, memory, hope. Some for a season, some for a lifetime. The river does not ask, "Why must I carry this?" It accepts what enters it, and it knows that carrying is part of flowing. But notice, the river does not hold on. The leaf that falls in will eventually float out. It is definite object, falls apart, and no one will be ending. The river touches it, but does not grasp it. This is the art of living. To carry what comes, but not to clutch it. To hold gently and release when the time arrives. Where the river bends, the water slows. Sediment settles, banks build up, plants take root. The curve becomes a place of gathering. The straight path is fast and efficient, but the curved path is where life accumulates, where nutrients collect, where fish rest, where birds nest. Human beings love the straight line, the direct route, the shortest distance, the quickest answer. But the river teaches a different wisdom. The bend is not a mistake. The curve is not inefficiency. It is where the rushing becomes richness. In your own life, honor the bends, the detours, the delays, the unexpected turns. They may be where the deepest nourishment gathers. Two rivers meet, and they become one. There is no struggle over which river continues. Water, long, wire, long, disappears. There is no argument about whose name will remain. They simply merge, waters mingling. What was two is now one, and the combined river flows stronger. Neither has lost itself, both have expanded. When you meet another soul along your path, you can resist the joining, fearing you will disappear. Or you can merge and discover you become more, not less. The river does not fear losing its identity when it joins another. It knows that water is water. Separation is temporary. Separation is the deeper truth. In the canyon, the river narrows and deepens. The walls press in. The current speeds up. This is intensity, concentration, power. Whirls. In the valley, the river spreads and shallows. The land opens. The current eases. This is gentleness, diffusion, rest. Both are needed. The canyon carves and shapes. The valley nourishes and sustains. Your life will have canyons, times of pressure, times of focus. Your life will have valleys, times of spreading out, times of ease. Do not resist either. In the canyon, let yourself deepen. In the valley, let yourself rest. The river does not choose. It accepts the shape the land provides. The river in flood is a terrible thing. It breaks its banks, uproots trees, sweeps away homes. People curse the river and build higher walls. But the flood is not the river's anger. It is the river responding to too much. Too much rain, too much snowmelt, too much at once. When you overflow your banks, when you cannot contain what has been given to you. This is not wickedness. This is overwhelm. The solution is not always higher walls. Sometimes it is wider banks. Sometimes it is places for the water to spread and slow. Give yourself space when you're flooded. Do not dam it all up inside. Let the excess find its way out gently, if you can. The river carries stories but does not tell them. Every stone it has touched, every bank it has shaped. It remembers nothing and forgets nothing. It is always now for the river. This bend was rock, this movement of water over sand. There is no other moment. You carry your past like stones in your pockets, heavy with memory, weighted with regret or longing. The river shows you a different way. What if you touched each moment and released it? What if you flowed through your life without storing it? The river does not build a museum of its journey. This does not mean the past does not matter. It means the past does not have to be carried. It shaped you, and now it is gone, and you are still flowing. At night, the river continues in darkness. It does not wait for dawn to resume its journey. It does not need to see where it is going. The path is clear, even without light. Gravity pulls. The banks guide. The flowing continues. Sight is not required for movement. When you cannot see the way forward, when the future is dark and uncertain, you can still move. You do not need to see the ocean to flow toward it. You need only to follow the pole of what is true. The river finds the sea in perfect darkness. There is a place where the river widens before the sea. The current slows, the water spreads, salt begins to mingle with fresh. And this is the estuary, the threshold, the between place. Here, the river is no longer purely itself. It tastes the ocean, feels the tide pushing back. It is both river and not river. Endings are like this. You are still yourself, but you are also touching what comes next. You are in the threshold, neither here nor there. The river does not panic in the estuary. It does not turn back, crying, "I want to remain a river." It continues into the change. You will have estuaries in your life, times when you are no longer what you were, but not yet what you will become. These are uncomfortable times. The old identity loosens. The new one has not yet formed. You are brackish water, neither fresh nor salt. But this is not a mistake. This is transition. The river must pass through the estuary to reach the sea. Stay in the threshold. Do not rush it. Do not resist it. Let yourself be neither and both for a while. The river has flowed for thousands of miles, from the silent spring to the speaking brook, from the rushing stream to the wide, slow water. Every mile has changed it. It is not the same water that left a mountain, yet it is still the river, still itself. You are not who you were 10 years ago. You are not who you were yesterday, yet you are still yourself, continuous, unbroken. The river teaches this paradox. You are always changing and always the same. The form shifts, the essence remains. Do not grieve the person you were. Do not cling to the shape you once held. You are the river, not the water that is already past. The ancient sages sat by rivers and understood time. They saw that the river is always here, always now, and yet it is never the same water twice. They understood that this is the nature of all things, constant and changing, permanent and passing. The river is the teacher of impermanence. Everything flows, nothing stays. This is not cause for sorrow. This is simply truth. When you grasp at what is flowing, you suffer. When you accept the flow, you are free. The river does not try to hold its water. It lets each drop pass through. It lets yesterday's water become today's ocean. It trusts that more water will come. This trust is not faith in the future. It is acceptance of how things are. Ted part. Water flows, rivers move, life continues. The river does not wonder if it has lived well. It does not ask if it has flowed correctly. It simply flows, and in flowing, fulfills its nature. You do not need to achieve perfection. You do not need to prove your worth. You need only to flow as yourself, without pretense. The river that meanders is not a failure. The river that runs dry in summer is not broken. Each river flows according to its nature and its land. So with you. Your path is yours alone. Flow it fully, without apology. There is a question people ask. Where is the river? Is it the water, which is always changing? Is it the banks, which guide but do not flow? The answer is, the river is neither and both. It is the relationship between water and land. It is the pattern, not the substance. You are like this. You are not your body, which changes every day. You are not your thoughts, which come and go like water. You are the pattern, the way of moving through the world, the shape of your flowing. This shape can adapt to new land. This pattern can express through different water, but it remains, somehow, you. The river asks nothing of you. It does not demand that you understand it. It flows whether you watch it or not. But if you sit beside it long enough, if you listen to its movement and observe its way, it will teach you how to live. Not through words, but through being. Not through lessons, but through example. The river is the teaching. Let go of what is past. Accept what is. Trust what is coming. Move around obstacles. Flow with your landscape. Honor your seasons. Carry lightly. Join freely. Release completely. These are not rules to memorize. These are observations of how water moves. And you are mostly water. The river within you knows the way. It has always known. You have only to stop damming it up. Stop insisting on the straight line. Stop fighting the bend. Stop building walls against your own current. The river of your life wants to flow. It wants to move through you and out into the world. It wants to carry you toward the sea. And, right hand, weight, always in the world. Not the sea of death, though that too will come. The sea of completion, of wholeness, of return. The sea that is home. And until you reach it, there is only this. The flowing, the continuing, the now. The river does not practice flowing. Now. It does not prepare to be water. It simply is, and in being, moves. You do not need to become something you are not. You need only to be what you are. And what you are is already flowing. Can you feel it? The current beneath the stimulus. The movement beneath the pause. You are not stuck. You are not frozen. You are a river resting between rapids. And soon, when the land calls for it, you will move again. Not because you must, but because it is your nature. The river flows to the sea. This is neither success nor failure. This is simply what rivers do. You flow toward your own completion. Not an ending, but a joining. Not a finish, but a return. And all along the way, you nourish the banks. You carry the sky. You reflect the moon. You host the fish. You sing the ancient song of water over stone. This is enough. This is the river's way, and it is also yours.